Hello everyone, I'm Trevor from Sunset Synths, and welcome to the joy of patching. So today we've drawn the Page of Wands in its reversed position. And on the card you'll see that there's a young man holding a staff, and there's some green leaves sprouting out the top. And there's also some salamanders on his tunic there, symbolizing fire and transformation. And in the background, it's a barren wasteland. So all of this is to suggest inspiration, new ideas, redirecting energy in a barren place where it didn't exist before. So it's kind of cool to draw this early on in the joy of patching as we're kind of getting this formed out here. So we're going to roll with this and use this as the source of inspiration for today's patch. So with keeping that theme in mind, I'm going to start out with the Mother 32 here. And just like the barren wasteland that is this unpatched synth, we're going to put together something out of nothing. So I'm taking the VCA out into my mixer, and then out of the mixer into the Modbap. So the full mix is going to run through the Modbap and then out of here into the interface. So one thing I like to do is keep all of my sequences to the key of C, whether that be C major or C minor. And then I tune my different synths to whatever key I want to be in. So for instance, right now I've got everything tuned to E. But I'm going to put together a sequence using the major pentatonic scale. And the reason I do that is, I'll be able to recycle this patch and use it later on down the road in case I get stuck and need an idea. That one there is a dud though, so let's go ahead and clear that out. So I've got it nice in that low register, and using that major pentatonic scale, I'm kind of come through here and find some combinations that might work nice for just a slow moving bass line to get us started out as a good foundation. That's nice. Okay. Yeah. And that's another reason I like doing this in the key of C is it gives me the full octave and I don't have to jump around. Yeah, that'll work. Let's go ahead and record that. Let's just explore this here a little bit. See what other sounds we can get out of it. I do like this as a foundation though. Timing, we'll probably switch that up here next. We'll get a clock going in here. nice. So what we're doing here is using the LFO to modulate our filter. Pretty solid so far. So let's start getting clocked together here. We'll start with the Tempi. I've got it in its initiated patch. And I'm just going to run it into the mult here on the case. That's a little slower. Let's somewhere in between there. We might revisit that tempo. We'll see. Alright, so now let's send a clock signal over to our little Groovebox companion case here. I'm going to get it sent into grids, which I use to sequence drums. So we'll take that same clock, and I'm going to go ahead and take the reset and mult that back over there, because I know I'm going to be using that other places once we start getting some other stuff going. And I might as well just go ahead and reset Mother 32 here, so when I get these drums going in, that's kind of nice. So that could be a cool little variation, a little B section. Just running the reset, half of the overall sequence. Another happy accident. Okay, back to what we were doing. Okay, so we're going to run out of grids into peaks, channels 1 and 2 doing the kick and snare respectively, and then we're going to take channel 3 into the 2 HP hats. Then we're going to run all 3 of those into the 2 HP mix to use it as a sub mixer. Saves a little space in our primary mixer, but also allows for some more flexible routing. We can do some fun stuff later on. So I'm gonna run out of there into the mixer. And the beauty of this simple Groovebox is that sometimes it just sounds good. And I think the benefit of resetting that Mother 32 sequence helped with the timing on this thing off jump. So let's take the reset out. fun stuff set up in here. I'm gonna mult over this clock and get it going into the Modbat Performer. And I'm running this into the RCD. One, I might use these divisions later, but mainly to take this divide by 1 to clock the Modbap in here, because it likes that real healthy clock signal and it doesn't play well in a mult. Could be user error. Most likely user error. I may have patched this in too early because I could get distracted with this thing. Okay, so let's start to bring in some more elements. Let's bring in some voices using the Two of Cups here. Again, another reason, just to reiterate the recycling of the sequences. We're gonna just test that experiment out here, and we're gonna just see if we got a recycled sequence in here that works. So I've got sequence on Ornament and Crime, and then I'm gonna run into 1 and 2 on the Two of Cups. We're just going to take the main clock and move that along here and see what that gives us. All right, grab the reset. Let's run the outputs so we can hear what's going on. Get everything reset here. Alright, we'll start with the left. Alright, so I haven't patched any pitch sequencing. I mean, that rhythm kind of works. See what's on the other side. Similar. Now let's get some pitch going. Works on the one on the right, but I'm not loving it in the one on the left. So let's just keep the pitch the same and let's tune it. Yeah, let's do that. let's take another clock and we'll just do a double of the main clock and run it into the fills. So when we hold down the button, it gives us some extra interaction points. Let's explore it a little bit. Yeah, we got to make that happen. Simple enough. Alright, so we're going to take the snare trigger. I'll mult it. Uh-oh. Cable's not long enough. Pivot. Alright, so I'm going to use mats. And we're running into the trigger input. And then I'm going to take the end of rise. Into the trigger in for the reverb down here. There we go. I love how much contouring you can do. And how this releases out by using mats. Oh, let's see if we'll take the reset out here. Cool. Alright, so let's put that reset back in there. And okay, so let's get our good friend Basimilus in the mix here. I'm going to take the accent from grids into the trigger. It's kind of like a blend of the kick and snare. And then I'm going to take the output. I'm going to run it into its own channel and process separate from the drums. And how I like to start out with this thing is just like, just send a straight trigger into it and just get it to sound mean. Doesn't normally take very long. take the beginning of the clock and run it into the Pons to trigger an envelope. That's another source of modulation. Take the bipolar out on Clep. Jovis is I can also use this as a mult. So let's just send it down to channel 2. Drop this elsewhere. Let's take our drum submix here and run it through the lo-fi Junky. adds so much. Okay, let's start to get a little modulation going in here. Let's add some modulation to the meta input on the 2 cups. So we'll run out of the oct. And it looks like I am going to need some more cables. I'll grab that. Back with some more cables, and as always I'm using our in-house sunset cables available on our shop. Now where were we? That sample that's got the meta CV stuff going on the right, that needs a little more magic happening. So I'm gonna run it through the new cutting room floor. Let's isolate it. I absolutely love this thing. Slow this modulation down on the meta. Just go to slower drift. Start to bring in some of those other elements, see how it sits. Just the warble and the graininess that cutting room floor adds in there, so nice. And it looks like there's only one sample on the left input, so we gotta pull that out. the wave that it kind of adds and weight that it adds to Basimilus. Dial in the compressor here on the Performer. A million different directions you can go and avenues you can explore. Let's get kind of tuned back in here what we had going on. Sample through this filter we got. So after the cutting room floor, it's coming over here. So I'll be able to add a little bit more modulation. Take one of the aux channels into channel 2 on the mat, so that way I can attenuate some movement to that filter. Start to get some more effects in here. So I'm going to use the Milky Way, and I'm going to dial in a delay, and then what I'm going to do after that is run. So I've got the aux send going here from the mixer into the Milky Way, and then once I have this delay dialed in, I'm going to take it, the output, into the Erbe verb, so delay into reverb. And I'm going to use it on these samples here. That's a lot of Erbe verb. Let's adjust a few of these parameters to rein it back in. Make it sit a little bit lower in the lower mids. location on grids. So as I turn it up, it's going to give me new rhythm. So much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you maybe learned something in the process. While you're here, be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and share this with somebody that may be interested. And as always, I want to leave an open invitation to start a dialogue if anybody's interested in getting started with something like this. Check out sunsetsynths.com.